Today we're catching some sun and waves with Rick, a QHS member whose life is as vibrant and refreshing as a seaside breeze. What currents brought him to the sunny shores of the quantum shift? Let's surf behind the scenes to see the waves he's been riding.
Good morning. My name is Rick, 3-year-old male, 10 kids, 30 grandkids, half a dozen great-grandkids. Proud of all of them. I am a Christian. I believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Always have, always will. Secondly, I'm a truth seeker. I hate a liar. Everything you know is a lie. We've never been to the moon. The Sphinx is hollow. The Great Pyramid interior is controlled by NASA. The Grand Canyon is controlled by NASA. No fly zone. Cannot boat through it, cannot fly through it, cannot walk through it. Hiding Egyptian artifacts. More mummies in the Grand Canyon than the rest of the world put together. Why is that they're hiding that? Could it be that all the mummies are 8 feet or taller? Nothing shorter? That's not an Egyptian. Interesting. I spent most of my working life in the oil field, i.e. my ears are not as great as they should be. I have a hard time hearing things in crowds. I would like that fixed. My eyesight, I see better this way than I do this way. These are old glasses. I've gone through several versions of glasses. I found out very early, probably about 10 years ago, where I took my wife down to Atlanta, Georgia, Saxton Health, and went through their program of minerals and vitamins. Within 24 hours, I had gained 3 lines of vision on an eye chart, and my wife had gained 2. So there's a lot more going on than doctors. In my search for help for my wife, who I've literally spent millions of dollars trying to keep her alive, and that is the God's truth, I have found doctors to be worthless. I've fired more doctors than you've probably met. Very seldom do you find one that's worth anything. Ruby's worth a lot. She's helped me a lot, and I thank you, Ruby. Being as I was in the oil patch, I worked myself up through the ranks, costing me my hearing. I've never had it tested, but it's not the greatest. And I would like that fixed. I went to the top of the food chain, bought a mansion in Hawaii, moved the wife there because she did better at sea level and she did better in a saltwater air environment. And when you're closer to the equator, that helped a lot too. I am a windsurfer. I love windsurfing. My first year of windsurfing, I didn't even know how to turn the board around, didn't know how to tack or jibe. I had to jump in the water to turn the board around, crawl back on, pull the sail back out of the water, and continue on racing. Took first place in state, not knowing how to turn a board around. I've won lots of trophies. State 2 years in a row, went to Mille Lacs, did the crossing there, took first place there. Only regret I never got to do was nationals when it was in Gimli, Canada. That'd have been fun. Raising 10 kids, you don't have a lot of money to run around with. The best I ever did, I raced in nationals in South Dakota. It was a 3-way tie for first place. I was put in 3rd place because I threw out the most races, because the first 2 days of racing I was in a hospital with my father who had a heart attack. When I got to the race on the 3rd day, I took enough first places to qualify in a three-way try, but you run 4 races, throw away your worst. Run 4 races, throw away your worst. Run 4 races, throw away your worst. So I threw away the most points, and that's how they determine who is first, second, and third. Who threw out the most points is third place. 1 more race, and I would have taken first place. No wind on Sunday, so fate has it as it is. I'm looking forward to my second life with the QHS. I'd like to do it in Hawaii if possible. The wife does very good in Hawaii, but then after to go through the QArc, might not have to go to the center of the earth, being the equator. But I would like to help the indigenous people of Hawaii, if possible. They are a wonderful people. I love their culture, and it's a great place to live. I have personally seen space alien craft. Back in the 70s, I was on an oil rig, drilling, and I watched a jet fly by, followed by a B-52, followed by a triangular black spacecraft, the only thing it can be, 30 feet thick, that you could park 3 B-52s on. That thing was huge. No sound, no smoke, just floated by, blotting out the sun in broad daylight. Before we had cell phones, or I'd have been taking pictures. Followed by another B-52, followed by another fighter. Obviously, you couldn't see this thing on radar, so you had airplanes in the front, airplanes in the back, so they knew where it was going. And as it flew by, a clear test tube looking thing came down in the middle of this spacecraft, and an airman jumped in there in the United States Air Force uniform and waved at us as it flew by.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.